What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin. Couple of things before we get into the video today. First is I want to say thank you to everyone who has been here from day 1 or day 1000, whatever day it is. We officially hit 4,000 subscribers on this channel. That number means a whole lot to me, and I just wanted to thank each and every one of you. Thank you for supporting me on this journey. Also, the second thing I want to say is that we are going to be live on this channel tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, to talk about this video, everything in this video, talk about the Red Sox in general, talk about baseball in general, or life in general. Whatever you guys want to talk about, we'll talk about. Again, that is going to be tomorrow night, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time on this channel. Now on to the actual video, because for a while it seemed like all the big, high impact, huge contract type players were already scooped up and there wasn't really a ton left on the open market in terms of huge impact guys. Well, that may not be the case anymore, because after the Giants said no to Carlos Correa, the Mets are seemingly having a hard time with signing Carlos Correa. Reports are coming out that the Mets deal is going kind of south. The Mets are getting frustrated with Correa. Correa's getting frustrated with the Mets. And a report came out recently too that said there may be another mystery team involved talking to Carlos Correa about a possible signing. This sent Red Sox social media ablaze, right? There was speculation all over the place as to whether or not maybe the Boston Red Sox were the mystery team involved with Carlos Correa. So what we're going to do today is we are going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some reasons why the Red Sox may have actually been that mystery team and still continue to be that mystery team. And we're going to talk about why they possibly weren't that mystery team, why they may be avoiding signing Carlos Correa. But before we get into that, do me a favor, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Plus, at 5,000 subs, I'm getting a red seat tattoo. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's start off by talking about some reasons why the Red Sox may be that mystery team. The first is he's a almost perfect statistical fit with the Red Sox right now. First, the Red Sox need a shortstop, and Carlos Correa is one of the game's best. He did have a tough defensive year in 2022, finishing the year with an outs above average of just 18%, which is not great. It means that about 82% of all of MLB was better defensively with outs above average than Carlos Correa. But in total, throughout his career, we know that Carlos Correa is a great defensive shortstop. In 2021, he won both the Gold and Platinum Glove awards, and he's always been known as one of the game's best defensive shortstops, which fits perfectly with what the Red Sox need right now on the field, right? It would be ideal to get a better defensive outfielder, most likely in one of the corner positions, but we can get away with that a little bit. You can't get away with having absolutely no one at shortstop. So the position he plays and how well he plays it is definitely a good fit for this Red Sox team, regardless of whether or not he did have that bad year. Because in my opinion, I think most people's opinions, Carlos Correa will not be that bad defensively for the rest of his career. And that was just sort of a tough season. In total, it's pretty obvious that he will be a defensive menace for a while. So there's reason number one. He fits in with the Red Sox defensive needs right now. Number two is taking a look at what the Red Sox need offensively. You're probably still looking at this lineup, and I feel like most people would be more comfortable looking at it if there was a right-handed power bat in the middle of that order, one that is pretty consistent with the way he approaches at bats. Carlos Correa is all of those things, right? He's a right-handed hitter who's pretty consistent at the plate, and he's a guy who can give you a pretty decent amount of pop. He had a great offensive season in 2022, finished the year with a 291 average with a 360 on base percentage, which is oddly enough the exact same on base percentage he had in 2021. He also had a 140 OPS plus, about 40% more productive offensively than the average player in baseball, and he finished 2022 with 22 home runs, fitting, and 64 RBIs. Now, to me, that is a guy who can easily slot into the middle of this order, give you consistency in the middle of this order, as well as give you some pretty decent power numbers as well. He's not going to be the home run king or anything, but he'll give you enough power numbers where you don't really have to worry about a lack of power in the middle of your order. Carlos Correa is a guy who could replace Xander Bogaerts, at least numbers wise. Obviously, you're never going to be able to replace what Xander Bogaerts meant to this team, this city, this franchise, but you may may be able to replicate some of his numbers at the plate, and Carlos Correa is a guy who can do that if he can remain healthy. The third and final reason the Red Sox may have been that mystery team that reached out to Carlos Correa is because of the fact that the Red Sox haven't really made a huge splash this offseason. Yes, they got Masataka Yoshida, but I don't think a lot of us consider that the big splash, right? A one that we're going to go, wow, I can't believe the Red Sox did that, right? They also, yes, re-signed Rafael Devers, and don't get me wrong, I love the fact that they re-signed Rafael Devers, extended him well beyond any contract they've ever given out before, because Rafael Devers deserves that. But that wasn't so much of a, wow, I can't believe they did that, as it was a finally. They should have, they needed to do that for a while. I think the expectation going into the 2023 offseason was that the Red Sox were going to wow us a little bit with how competitive they were becoming within this division. And so far, we haven't really seen that. And I think a majority of people are wanting that. I don't know if the front office wants to do that as well. In my opinion, that was going to come via trade, a big splash via trade. Maybe they make a big splash via Carlos Correa. Who knows, right? But those are kind of the reasons why it makes sense for the Red Sox to be that mystery team in on Carlos Correa. Let's talk about some reasons why they might not want to be that mystery team. There are only a couple of reasons why Carlos Correa may not make a ton of sense for this Red Sox team, but those reasons are pretty big. The first is that this move doesn't really feel like something that fits the Red Sox MO. Now, Chaim Bloom and really the front office in general, along with ownership of this Red Sox team, really pride themselves in striving to be smart baseball minds, right? They try to make the smart baseball moves to improve their team while also not hindering their ability to do things in the future. Whether they are doing it correctly or not correctly is a different story. But we can all be honest here, signing Carlos Correa to a long-term deal wouldn't exactly be the smartest move in the world, especially after you see the San Francisco Giants, who were desperate to get a face of the franchise type player, and they still didn't want Carlos Correa because of his medicals and everything that is going on with that right now. And then he gets a deal with the Mets and everything seems like it's going to go fine. But even Steve Cohen, who is not afraid to spend big money and take big risks to ensure that the Mets are a ultra competitive team in Major League Baseball, he says, well, wait a second, I don't know if I want to give this money to Carlos Correa. And then to see the Red Sox go out and get him for that long-term deal just simply does not seem like a smart baseball move. In fact, it really kind of sounds like a dumb baseball move. If those two teams are passing on him, there is probably something there. And for the Red Sox, that just doesn't seem like a move that they would make. Now, the other reason why the Red Sox may not be that mystery team in on Carlos Correa could be because of the luxury tax. Now, it's my opinion that before Xander Bogaerts signed with the Padres, the Red Sox did plan on going over the luxury tax in 2023, right? They went on a bit of a spending spree, paying big money for Chris Martin, Kenley Jansen, and Yoshida. But then after Xander Bogaerts signed with the San Diego Padres, it felt as though an entire shift happened. It seemed as though the Red Sox went from, yes, we're pushing all of our chips on the table, let's see if we can get an ultra competitive team in 2023, one that's a threat for the division and the World Series, to, okay, let's stay under the luxury tax, see what we can muster up here, see how competitive we can be by staying under this luxury tax, and see if we can retool and get ready for the next couple of off seasons where we are going to push ourselves over the luxury tax, right? It seemed like they did an entire switch flip. Now, signing Carlos Correa would definitely put you over that luxury tax. The question is whether or not the Red Sox think Carlos Correa is the guy to do that. Definitely statistically he may be, but again, you're taking that huge risk with the injury and the fact that two other teams have passed up on him. Now, in my opinion, at the end of the day, I think the Red Sox, if they were to be in on Carlos Correa, should really only focus on short-term deals. Something like the Twins, where they give him a 3-4 year deal, and at the end of it, he can retest free agency at 30, 31, right? It allows you to bridge the gap really, really well to Marcelo Mayer without taking on that injury risk as much as a team that's going to offer him 12 years. Does Carlos Correa want to do that again? My guess is probably not, but in my opinion, there is a huge possibility that the Red Sox at least reached out and offered him that kind of deal, right? I don't have any information on that. I don't have any confirmation on that. So I don't know if the Red Sox were genuinely the mystery team here. I'm just kind of assuming that this sounds like something the Red Sox may do, a short-term deal to get him here. But to me, it would make absolutely no sense for the Red Sox to go after Carlos Correa on a long-term contract. But that's just my opinion. So Let me know in the comment section down below. A, do you think the Red Sox were that mystery team involved with Carlos Correa? B, would you want the Red Sox to be that mystery team involved with Carlos Correa? And C, what would you give Carlos Correa to get him here to this Red Sox team? Let me know all your thoughts on the Red Sox Carlos Correa situation down below. If you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button. Like I said in the intro, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this one as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. I wanted to thank you guys one more time for 4,000 subscribers. Truly an incredible community that we have built up together, and I couldn't have done any of this without all of you, so thank you all so much. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you again tomorrow night in the live stream on this channel at 7 p.m. Eastern time and in the Red Seat.